Check this out. Welcome back to another episode of the I'm Not a Hater podcast featuring your favorite not hater, Mr. Brown. All right, so look, jumping right in. We're going to get right into it. If you become suddenly rich and famous overnight, do you feel responsible or do you feel like you should be responsible for taking care of your family as far as monetary, or make sure they have houses or cars, and live the life that um, you now have acclaimed? Or do you feel like they should continue to live their lives regularly and maybe you hit them off, with cash every now and then? Or do they just live their lives as they've been and you live your life separately and, it is what it is? Now, I came up with this because the rapper Gorilla, her family has recently come out saying that they're upset. She hasn't been sending them money or giving them money. And her mom is supposedly still working at FedEx. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like holding down a job while your famous relative obviously has a job, and is making lots of money. But the reason why I'm doing this whole episode is because in my mind, right, in my heart, I feel like you shouldn't stop working just because. I don't care if it's your mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, whoever. If they got money in the end, that's their money. Now, as far as the rap money is concerned, it's fickle, right? You could be up one day and have a lot of money, and you could be down the next and have no money at all and back to living a regular life. And maybe Glorilla is being smart with her money and not splurging and doing too much, spending on others, and, keeping it for rainy day type stuff. And, maybe her mom and dad appreciate that. I don't know. Her siblings seem to be upset. They seem to feel otherwise. Her brother and sister have been on multiple sites, had messages posted where they just going in on her for, not providing them with a lifestyle that they probably thought they were going to have. And that's number one. People start to get these unreal expectations when you yourself get money. They start to feel like, oh, it's their money. And everybody's money isn't for everybody. If I worked hard to get there and I got on, it's my money until I decide to make it our money. And maybe that's how Glorilla is feeling. I don't know. But as far as me, like, I would take care of course, my immediate family, like right there with me, parents and stuff like that. But if you like, distant cousin down the line, I ain't never really met you, please don't come up trying to get no money from me, because it's not gonna happen. I'm sending you right back to work. Don't quit your day job if we not close. And even still, even if we are close, you not about to just quit your job and leech off of me. That's not happening. You gonna still go to work, because guess what? At any point, any time, I could cut that money off. It's my money, right? You gotta remember that it's my money. I worked hard for it. I did what I had to do. I sacrificed blood, sweat, and tears, etc. It's my money at the end of the day. Like, I think that's what her family and maybe many others who have rich relatives or whatever, people who've made it, I think that's what they forget. Like, they put in the sacrifice. Like, you might have been there one or two times, but they were the ones that were up late and, hitting recording sessions or, practicing extra for sports, if they're an athlete or whatever. Like, they were the person that were doing it, not you. So they deserve to have that money, and they should be able to decide who they take care of and who they don't. Now, some people may feel like, oh, everybody eats, everybody all in, but people get greedy too. And when you get greedy is when, like I said before, you got to get cut off. And, that's going to end up happening because people do get greedy. People start to feel like, they inflate how much they were there. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened in Glorilla's case with her sister and her brother. They probably inflated how much they were around. They probably weren't there as much as, she was. Obviously not, because she's the famous one. But they weren't there as much as they claimed to be because, obviously she probably would do more and take care of them. But also, people got, in Sebastian Telfair's case, right, he had 20-something siblings. That's a lot of people to be trying to take care of, man. And you, listen, you don't want to be broke. Don't give up all your dough. 9 people broke, don't be number 10. And, people, again, will guilt trip you. They'll do all kind of random stuff to make you feel bad because they're not in your situation. But if they put in the work and do some extra stuff, maybe they could. I might give you some money to start a business. Now, if you trick it off and you out there splurging, then that shows me you really don't need another dollar from me, and you probably won't ever get one. It is what it is, but I just feel like you can't automatically just assume that somebody else's money is your money. They put in the hard work. They did what they need to do. They, again, sacrificed the hours and everything, perfecting crafts to get to a certain point where they have this wealth. And, they don't necessarily want to just lose it, blowing it on people in different ways. Like I said before, if it was me, I'm taking care of those closest to me. And, that's pretty much it. And I think people would respect that. You take care of the ones that with you. You may listen to a couple people's ideas as far as what they might want to do. And if it's good enough, then maybe, and that's a big maybe, I'm giving you the money for it. I still don't see myself doing it because, again, if it's 9 people broke around me, I do not want to be number 10. And I'm not trying to have that happen. All right? It's just, it's just facts. It's just what it is. I just feel like, that money belongs to her. In Sebastian Telfair's case, he tried to take care of too many people, move them out the projects. Everybody can't go. I would have to pick and choose 20 people. I'm definitely picking and choosing who coming with me, who ain't. Because if I got to take care of 20 people, that's 20 cars, 20, probably like 5 or 6 houses. They going to have to live together, but again, you spending more than you bringing in, so eventually you still catching up, and then you're never going to catch up. Taxes involved and all that, you got to pay your taxes and do all that type of stuff. Like, it's entirely too much to try to take care of everybody. That's too much strain. It's too much mental strain on a person to try to take care of every single person. And I think that's also another problem that you run into. You will be mentally exhausted trying to take care of these people because their demands will never stop. Their demands will always keep going. You'll get them one thing, they gotta upgrade it. They need something different, or they coming back to you with their hand out again. So it's best to set boundaries and guidelines with this kind of thing. You hit the lottery or whatever it is. Like I said, you hit big with your business or just your craft or whatever you may be doing. Like, you gotta let people know from the jump, I can't take care of everybody. You gotta set that boundary day one, because if you don't, here they come. Every distant cousin, third cousin, fifth cousin you got is coming out the woodwork to try to get at you to get a few dollars. You never even met these people, but they want a few dollars. And you got to let them know, like, look, I ain't got it. It is what it is. Don't take this too personal, but if you wasn't there from day one on the journey, I just don't feel like you deserve anything. And even if you was, it's still my money at the end of the day. Like, my money is my money. I worked hard to make it. You don't get to decide how much of it I'm going to give to you or how much of it you can spend. Let me make that decision. Truthfully, at the end of the day, Glorilla don't owe them people nothing. Sebastian Telfair didn't owe them people a thing. He spent all his money and now he's back where he started. If anything, let that, in the story of others who have gone broke, let it be a cautionary tale for you people. Again, if you hit big, it's best you put boundaries on it. Take care of the people you want to take care of. Do not feel the pressure to have to spend money on those who were never around or not or won't be around after you give them the specific dollar amount. You know exactly who they are because they'll run as soon as you cut the check. But listen, I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Just want to bless your timeline with a little bit of talk. Just about, keeping your money, and keeping the people away from you who don't really need it. All right? Be blessed. I'll talk to you soon. This is the I'm Not a Hater podcast.